welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, so today's video, guys, this is another Dollar General DIYs video. These are so much fun to put together. I absolutely love the Dollar General store, guys. They have got some of the cutest home decor pieces already, like stuff that you don't have to remake. But they also have lots of pieces that are reasonably priced that you can bring home, do a little revamping to, and have something that literally matches your decor perfectly. So I went to my local Dollar General, looked around. Like I said, they've got tons and tons of home decor, but I just looked around for different stuff that I thought that I could bring home and really make something cute out of, something that I could, make personal for my home. So all of these DIYs are definitely easy, very inexpensive to make, and just stinking cute. So while you're in your own Dollar General, be looking for those kind of things. Just little stuff that you can pick up, take home, and completely redo. All right, guys, let's jump right in. Okay, so for this first one, I have got a metal rooster that came from the Dollar General. Now, this was on a stake, a little stick, metal stick, and I just pulled that right off. I actually did it on accident before the video started, so that's why the stick is no longer there. I've also got this sign that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Now, I liked this sign in particular because it had that bead detail at the top that I was very easily able to remove, and then also it had a frame already made around the sign. So I just took one of those little spatula deals from the Dollar Tree, got it right up underneath the edge of that frame, and then I was able to just slide it all the way around this sign in order to pick up the frame. Now, once I got the frame pieces off, I just pulled off any excess paper that was still attached to it, where the glue was on the back of these. Just literally picked off the excess paper. I did that for each one of them and then peeled off the rest of the paper. I'm going to be using plaster and also elephant chalk paint from Waverly. And I'm going to use that elephant to paint the frames. And then I'm going to go in with the plaster and give the sign itself just one single coat. Now, I covered it completely, but I didn't give it like a good thick coat because I knew I would go back and, use my sander on it, whatever. So it's not a really good coat, but it is a solid coat of paint. I then, like I said, took my sanding block. Now, I got this sanding block at my local hardware store, but it's so handy. I used that to sand down my pieces. I then took a yardstick that I picked up at Lowe's, and I just used that to make some lines across this sign. Now, what we're doing is making like a shiplap look. I'm using a number 2 pencil, just a regular pencil, to do this. And what I'm going to do is use my finger to go back and smudge out those pencil lines. Y'all, this creates the easiest shiplap I've ever done. I actually saw Caitlin on Crafts with Caitlin do this on her YouTube channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so simple. And it really does look like shiplap. I mean, it actually even gives it that weathered look. Now, I believe I used too much ink, or not ink, but like when I used the pencil, I did it too hard. So my lines were a little harsh, but I took a baby wipe and kind of went back over the top of it, tried to smooth it out a little bit, which did not work much. So what I did was take some silver lining chalk paint by Waverly, and I simply dry brushed that right over the top of this. Super simple. And that was it. Now we're ready to go. I think this looks perfect, y'all. I love the pencil idea, and then also just that dry brushing. Totally made a difference. Now, I've got this ceramic coat that I picked up at Hobby Lobby for $1.49, y'all. I got these on clearance. I picked up several of these paints. And if you've never used this paint, let me just tell you, it is actually really good paint. I used that. This is a burnt sienna color, and I just used that to weather my chicken or my rooster. I wanted to be able to have some like rust look going on around it. I used a baby wipe to kind of wipe off any excess. I did not want there to be like brush strokes actually on it, but I did want the rust look to be there. Now, this is where I had a little bit of trouble with this project. So, as you can see there, I picked up my first piece of the frame, and it has got the holes in it that match up to the holes on the sign. So, I put that piece on first. Then I began to assemble the rest of the frame, and I realized this is not going to work. It's not going to work. It's literally, there was no way to put this frame back together and it actually be square. I was missing like a little part. So as you can see there, I am literally contemplating like, what in the world? How did I do this? Well, it dawns on me that because I flipped the sign over and used the back of it, apparently that's what happened. So I thought, you know what? I'm not scrapping this. I'm just going to put this frame on the way that I can get it to go. I'm going to make sure that it is nice and square, and then I'll just cut off the excess and nobody will know the difference. And that's exactly what we did, okay? So I just added hot glue to the pieces of my frame, put those on in a square, and then used a utility knife to cut off the excess, which was super simple to do. Now, I did have one of my piece of frame kind of come up on me, so I had to re-hot glue it. But like I said, removing that excess of this sign was super simple. I just scored it with my utility knife several times, and then it cut right off. So very, very simple, and you cannot tell that there was a difference in it. So anyways, once I got that done, it's time to put our rooster on. Now, the inside of this rooster was a little shallow or hollow, however you want to say it, but it did not sit flat. So I used some tumbling tower blocks to just add into it. That way I could add my glue to the tumbling tower blocks and then glue this down like that. Super, super simple, guys. Literally glued this rooster to the center of my sign, held it into place, reattached my beaded garland there for the hanger, and that was it. I think this is so stinking cute. Okay, for this next one, this is so simple, guys. I have got 2 of these candle holders from the Dollar General. They were $2 a piece. They are so stinking cute. And then I've also got a lid from a candle that I bought from the Dollar General. Now, this candle was $4, but it had a purple dot, so I actually got the candle for $2. I bought several of them, as a matter of fact. And then I have got 2 of these candle cups that I got from Amazon. Now, as you can see there, the lid from that candle fits these candle cups perfectly, or you could just put a candle in them. But a cute way to just spruce these up a little bit is just to add these candle cups or finials, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I believe they're actually called candle cups, to the bottom of these. It's almost like a small candlestick. You know what I'm saying? But they're just little bitty. You can find them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, just about any craft store you will find these little candle cups. So I just used those. I hot glued them to the bottom of my candle holders. Super simple. I did add a little bit of extra hot glue around the smaller one just to make sure that it stayed intact. Added my lid. So stinking easy, guys. So easy. Now, I chose to use the lids instead of candles, but I think these are darling. Just absolutely darling. Okay, so for this next one, which is more of a hack than a DIY, I picked up this awesome looking bowl from the Dollar General store. It was $2. I first of all love the neutral, natural color of it. And then I've also got some succulents that I picked up at the Dollar General. They were 3 for $2. So definitely cheaper than the Dollar Tree. And then I've got some black rocks that I did pick up from the Dollar Tree. All I did, guys, was add my rocks to the bowl, then literally cut down some of the succulents and add those in. This is so stinking pretty, and it was so simple to make. You can use it for just about anything to add a little bit of greenery to any decor. I'm personally going to put this on my porch. I think it is gorgeous. Okay, so this next one, which was actually my favorite from today, I picked up this sign for $5 at the Dollar General. And then I also have some stickers from the Dollar Tree along with some rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. Now, the first thing I did was I realized that I was going to be able to just pull the little push pins out of the top of this in order to kind of free the front of this sign so that I could paint over the H. I used some plaster chalk paint by Waverly and painted that in. Now, you can obviously see that it's a little bit brighter than the actual color of the sign. So I just went ahead and painted the entire top of the sign. I gave it probably 3 good coats before I was able to finally cover up the H completely. I then took my sanding sponge and sanded down the edges just to kind of distress it a little bit. I'm then going to take my stickers from the Dollar Tree and just add those to my sign. Super simple. Now, I cut these stickers out that way I could place them however I wanted. But this was so stinking simple. And you could customize this for anything. This is just simply a good base for you to decorate however you want to. I just thought these stickers were cute. I loved what it said. Obviously, be grateful. Super nice. So that's what I decided to use. So I just placed those stickers the way that I wanted them on the sign. I was leaving myself room to where I could still use the rub-on transfers. That was the point of kind of keeping everything shifted to the side there. I then took one of the rub-on transfers and cut out that infamous wreath that's in the middle of these rub-on transfers. I think everybody on YouTube has used this particular wreath on something in a DIY. But anyways, it looked perfect to go with this. So I just added that in. I then used one of the little scraper tools from the Dollar Tree, and I use that to rub this on. Now, you have to be careful with these transfers. You don't want them to move at all while you're rubbing this on, or it will mess it up. So you need to hold them into place firmly, and then as you're pulling it up, kind of check it as you go, and just make sure that it's rubbed in good before you go just, jerking the top off. Because like I had a few places that I had to go back over with my little scraper tool in order to get them to really connect to that surface. So just take your time, be patient with the rub-on transfers, and I promise you they can come out looking absolutely perfect, just like this one. Anyways, now my L was hanging over the side just a little bit on the word grateful, so I just used an X-Acto knife and trimmed that up. Super duper simple. You would not know the difference. I then added just a touch of hot glue to where my little push pins go in, and I simply pushed those back into the holes that they came out of. I think this sign turned out so stinking cute. Once again, I just added a little bit of hot glue, reconnected my little leather strap. That's what I thought was cute on this, was mainly just the top of it, how it had the little dowel rod with the leather straps. It's just different. But I think this turned out super, super cute. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, last but not least, I have got a placemat that I got for $1 at the Dollar General store. How cute is that? And then I've also got a pack of stretched canvases that I picked up at Five Below. For $5, I got 2 of them. Guys, Five Below is hands down the best place to get your canvases. Now, I used a box cutter to take the canvas off of the frame. All I wanted was the frame of this. I'm then going to be using some elephant chalk paint by Waverly to paint this. I just painted it inside and out. Literally top to bottom, I painted with this elephant chalk paint. It only took me 1 coat. I used my heat gun to dry it. Now, I do have a link in the description box for a good heat gun. They are fantastic when DIYing. I then took my sanding sponge and sanded this down just to distress it. I sanded it really well. I'm going to be using my Killed electric stapler. Guys, I got this off of Amazon and it is fantastic. It is so easy to use. Like, it's easy to squeeze the handle. It is such a great product. I'll have a link in the description box for it. Now, I added my placemat to the back of my frame and then just simply began to staple it into place. So super simple. I did flip it over from time to time just to make sure that where I was stapling it, it was, staying in place. Now, in order to replace the staples, you literally just pop out the bottom, take your staples, put them in upside down, and then close it shut. It's that simple. This thing is so easy to use. I'm telling y'all, it is so great for DIYing. Anyways, I just finished stapling this to the back of that frame. I then placed it on top of my cutting mat, used my box cutter to cut off the excess all the way around it. This was so easy, y'all. And it is gorgeous. Tell me that is gorgeous. Alright guys, that is it for today. I hope that you all have enjoyed this video. I know that I definitely had a blast making it and getting all these things together. I love going to the Dollar General and finding stuff that I can just redo and make my own, If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. It definitely does help my channel. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family. And subscribe. That would be awesome. Plus, hit that notification bell so that you'll know each time I upload a new video. Speaking of videos, go check out my last Dollar General DIYs video. I will have that linked in the description box. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And y'all have a blessed day.